In this video, we'll be adding pyramids to our Fortnite game. So here's a preview of how it will look. So you can follow along with the tutorial, or if you haven't watched any part of the series, I'll be dropping the link for the playlist in the bio. After playing around with the game for quite a while, I saw that there were still few issues regarding overlapping. So as you can see, our floor object is overlapping inside the wall object. So to fix that, I'll take my floor object and just make sure there is some gap here so it doesn't collide with our wall object. Similarly, we can scale it down as well so it doesn't collide with our stair object either. Okay, a bit. Alright, this looks good. I can scale it up just yeah. Also over here you can see that stair visual object is overlapping on the wall object. So I'll do the same thing. I'll just take a stair. To completely fix it, I scale down these visualize meshes in all three axes. So I scaled them down a bit from 1.5. They are 1.4.1, 1.41 right now. Alright, now if I'll show you quickly, there shouldn't be any issue while making these meshes. Okay, I'll switch to stairs. As you can see, they should work really fast now. Okay, now I wanted to make a pyramid model. As you know, we already made stair, wall and floor for our game. So I'll be selecting this stair and wall and I'll be deleting it. Now we'll just use our floor and we'll go to edit mode and then let's select loop cut like this and let's add a cut from both the sides just like this. And now we can select the vertices. These two vertices will be selected and now press the G key and then the Y key, sorry, the X key to move it in the X axis, something like this. Okay, this looks a bit odd because these two should be merged. So I'll select these two vertices and I'll click at the M key and do merge at last. Same thing I'll have to do here. Okay, now this looks a lot better and lot like a pyramid model that there is in Fortnite game. I'll again select these two vertices from below and from top and then I'll press G and Z. G is for movement and Z will restrain that movement in the Z axis. Okay, so this looks good enough to me. I'll go to file and I'll do save as. In here I'll save it as pyramid model. Okay, okay, we can save this and I'll close it from here. Let Unity import our pyramid model. Okay, there it is. I'll just drag it in the scene. I'll call the transform of our pyramid build. I've made a parent object pyramid visual and I've copied the floor transform into pyramid visual itself. Now as you can see, it's aligned really well with other objects that we have. I'll just scale pyramid visual a bit more so our player can actually sit inside and camp. It looks a lot more spacious now. So that should work. I believe that will work. We'll add a box collider to it, and I will reset and adjust the box collider values. So okay, it would be just in the middle, something like this. We want to check if there is a stair here. Then we don't want to build our pyramid at that place. So let's just I just want this in the middle to check whether there is a stair like this. Okay, rest everything looks good. So as you can see, I have a box collider in the middle that will check whether there is a stair instantiated already at that place. Now to do so, you must remember we already have a script for this. We have check overlap script. So I'll just copy component and I'll be paste component as new. I already have made it is trigger. So our box collider is a trigger. Alright. Now for the tag we want to check for stairs itself. So we'll just keep the tag as stairs and we'll make this tag for the tag for pyramid build. We'll make it as stairs as well. So if there will be a pyramid, we won't be able to instantiate stair at that place, and vice versa. Like if there will be a stair, we won't be able to instantiate pyramid at that location. Okay, now let's go to our main camera, and here you can see we have build visuals. Let's add our pyramid build visual here. Okay, we have given reference to all the others. I'll also drag and drop and make it a prefab. Okay, now we have build prefabs as well, as you can see. So for build prefab, I'll duplicate our pyramid visual, and in the pyramid visual, instead of box collider, this time I'll be using mesh collider itself like this. We won't be checking for overlap in as you can see, we are not doing that in these objects. We are just checking for enable collision. So what enable collision basically does is, if our player is colliding or inside the mesh while building it, then the collider won't be enabled. So that's what it does. So we'll do the exact same thing here as well. Let's do enable collision and let's drag and drop our mesh collider, but we also wanna use the material that we are using on these objects. So it's named as floor mat. I'll be adding using floor mat instead. This would be called pyramid build, and I'll make a new object for this in the building prefabs. Okay, this looks good to me. We have everything here that we want. Okay, at this point we can select our main camera and add our pyramid build object that we just made. like this. We can remove it from here, and our work isn't done just yet. We'll have to open the script. The script itself, we'll be adding, as you can see, we are using ZXC key. We'll be just copying this part basically, and we'll check for V key this time. And if we press the V key, we want the build type to be 3, which basically would be a pyramid. Okay, now let's see if it's working. Okay, we have our pyramid object, but there is some glitch. Yep, there is some glitch. I'll figure it out in a bit. But right now, let's just instantiate these pyramids. Okay, so as you can see, the moment I'll instantiate it, there is no collision on this pyramid. But once I'll jump, you'll see there is collision now. So while our player will be clipping, there won't be any collision. So this part is being handled. Let me just come out of the play mode. This part is being handled by our enable collision script. So in this script itself, we were checking if there is player being, we have a collision with a player, then it's not gonna enable the collision. We can check the code right here. Okay, now that is done. I'll check overlap looks good as well. Let's see what's the glitch behind our pyramid object. In our pyramid object. Okay, so that issue was pretty straightforward. We want to add our pyramid build object in ignore raycast because we are using raycast to detect where we are instantiating. And I've also changed the material for our pyramid object, and I've made the same transparent material as other mesh that we were using to visualize. Okay, now you'll see there shouldn't be any issue. Also, let's try building stairs here. You can see I'm unable to build stairs. Okay, so we have our pyramid object now, and everything looks great. As also in our check overlap script, we'll have to add on enable, and in on enable we'll have to make overlap as false. So this is really important. This was giving me a lot of issues, and after testing it for quite a while, I figured out that this was the reason. So make sure to do this in on enabled. So on enabled is called every time when an object gets enabled. So yep, we can do that, and let's just give one final try to the game before ending the video.